It's so good to unplug. Um, we get more energy when we just disconnect from the virtual world and come back here into the silence, into the real world. The pace of interaction that happens in Facebook and other, whatever, when you go online, the amount of interactions that are going on is so much higher than in the real world. That's why we love Facebook. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not something that we have to be like, oh, it's lame, it's evil, whatever, it's bad. It's fulfilling probably our biggest human need of all, which is our need for connection with other people, our need for community, our need for interactions, and it's just our sense that we are part of a hive, a community, and we can every day kind of check in with our community and see where we are, where do we stand within our community, how are we doing. There's nothing wrong with that. As I want to like really like make clear like in all my videos, like there's nothing wrong with anything unless it starts to take your life over and has a disabling effect on you in, in some way. For example, if you, a hidden one that many people might not be aware of is that if you are using Facebook or your screens, any screens, your laptop, your phone, even the TV, if you start to use them too much, you can start to um, get dependent on that way of communicating, or just get dependent on even the colors, the brightness of the screen. It's different to reality. So when you're in that world more and more and more, then being in the real world is going to be, it's just going to be different. And for me, like it's been like, it becomes foggy. The real world becomes foggier because the screen world is so bright. There's all these colors, there's these sounds, there's the notifications, there's so much going on that when you come into this world, it's almost, I mean, it's just different. So don't want to dwell on that too much, but unplugging is so good. Like I just unplugged. So the way I do it is I do it in phases. Like I'll have like a few, maybe a month or a couple months of no Facebook or very limited, and then I'll kind of come back into it. I don't necessarily think that's the best way. It's just how I'm doing it, and I'm working towards more of a consistent daily balance where, I'll use it a little bit every day, which is fine. Keeping it in check, being in control of it, not letting it control you. That's what the difference between being in charge and uh, being addicted to something. But yeah, so Facebook's almost like, so if you have real cigarettes, and then you have a nicotine patch giving you nicotine. Facebook's like, what would it be a patch for? A patch for real community, real connections, real interactions. Facebook gives us it's like a patch, a nicotine. It kind of gives us that fulfillment. People like our stuff and we get our egos boosted a little bit. We feel more secure, we feel more accepted, socially accepted, we feel liked. It's the basics of it. And you just don't want to get too dependent on that. That's all. There's nothing wrong with that, but just don't get too dependent on it. Like I said, becoming dependent on that world, then you start to find the real world difficult. For example, having anxiety because you're losing your ability to interact in the real world. Every single one of us is totally unique. Every day there's like what, hundreds of thousands of people being born with completely unique fingerprint. Can't get that in focus. But anyway, we all have a completely unique fingerprint. We're all completely unique from birth. Um, and all we have to do is just be ourselves, and we'll be just amazing and unique, and like a like a jigsaw piece of a puzzle that we all are unique. We're all different. We don't all have to be the same. We don't all have to do something to be cool. We don't all have to have money to be cool, have a car to be cool. We don't all have to be a surfer. We don't all have to be a banker, doctor. Those are just you know those are just the I don't need to explain it. You guys know. Yeah. It's just our world is evolving, and we're going through this like painful evolution. Yeah, like did a video the other day on tension and how we have hidden tension in our body that we're just not aware of, like tension in the shoulders. And like imagine constantly doing this all day long. It's so unhealthy, but then you become aware of it, you can relax it. One that we have a lot of is tension in our hips. We're not aware of that. When we walk around, we're tense, we're afraid. It's all fear. We're afraid of each other. We're afraid of judgment. We're afraid. Facebook seems so much safer. It's like shielded by our computer. We can take our time to write posts. We can edit them. We can delete them. We can undo things, which is the beauty of computers. But in real life, you can't. So you have to be a lot more on it. Well, at least that's what we believe. But I wish we could all start to let go more and make mistakes more and be okay with our mistakes, because the fact is that nobody is perfect. And I want to say that again. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. We all make mistakes. We all are imperfect. It's just that some of us are much better than others at editing and hiding and only showing our strengths. And it's a natural thing that we've learned, and from hundreds of thousands of years ago. But nowadays, it can make life way more fun and way more comfortable. And I think that this is where things are going, because we're suffering so much depression, anxiety, and yes, there's social media keeping us connected with a community patch, like a nicotine patch, but it's not real, and we ultimately are going to crave real connection, real community. And our suffering is going to, I believe, force us into a direction that's going to say, fuck it, we can make mistakes, we can be imperfect, we can say stupid things, we can not look good, we can whatever, we can look however we want, be big, small, thin, tall, unshaven, shaven, bald, lots of hair, whatever, physical appearance, all these things will start to become less and less important. I do believe that it will happen in order for us to have a more comfortable life together and accept our imperfections together and embrace our imperfections together. And then that's what you see with the best relationships, whether it's romantic, marriages, or just friendships, is when people, they accept each other. And they no longer are putting in all this tremendous amount of draining energy to pose, to be something else, to be the best version of themselves that they think is the best version. I'm guilty of this too. Don't think I'm innocent. The reason why I can talk about this is because I know it. And I'm not innocent of this, but every day I'm trying, and I think it's just you've got to, you can do it overnight, or you can do it, take years to do it. It's just a matter of when are you going to have enough of the draining energy and the posing and the pretending and all this, and also when you become more comfortable with it, because understand that over years and years and years and years in our lives, we've conditioned our brain to respond. So, speaking in public, it's just going to activate fear. You're going to have anxiety. You're not going to feel comfortable, and that's just being conditioned over years and years and years. And the way it works is it starts off with experience in the mind, experience out here in the world that happens, captured by the mind, interpreted, and then over a long period of time of thinking and thinking about that experience, turning it into a belief, it becomes instinctual. It winds up going into your nervous system, and that's when we have less control of it. So trying to rewire your beliefs and your instincts is not easy and can take daily practice, but it's very doable, and it just takes daily practice of doing something that you're not comfortable with initially over and over and over and over again until you become comfortable with it. It's like anything in the world. So just remembering that our mind is very advanced. It's this incredible organ that can mold and adapt and change very easily. We just have to learn how to use it and realize that it's all about just repetition, 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 and every day just repeating the things and molding your mind into the sort of ally and tool that's going to help you the most. So if you have debilitating anxiety around people, then the way that you would do it is that, slowly, slowly just interact with people. Start with one person. Start maybe online. Start with messaging, and then go to the phone, and then do maybe video messages, or just jump right in and just you're going to be nervous. It's going to be there. The anxiety is going to be there. Just avoiding people and avoiding interactions is not going to heal the anxiety, and it's worth healing so that we can live. It's not that the nerves and the anxiety are going to go away. I think it was Mike Tyson or someone had an awesome quote about fear. He said the fear is never going to go away. It's just that you're going to learn how to deal with it, and that's a way of it going away. It's a way that you'll learn to manage it, not let it overcome you, and have a life and be able to go out and interact and not avoid. Alright, this video has gone on for too long. Hope you guys found something in there that could be useful, and if so, let me know.